So, with the PlayStation Plus lineup of games for August, came Death's Door, an action-adventure game where we play as a crow tasked with being a Soul Reaper. This game is another short one, with a trophy list consisting of a total of 25 trophies. Starting out, we take a magical flying bus and arrive at headquarters. One of the story's key plot points is that Soul Reapers are tasked with souls that they need to collect, and if they don't do so, they get a pay cut in the form of aging. So we set out. On one of our missions, we were wronged and had our targeted soul stolen from us by this grandpa, who used it for his own purpose. Oh, okay. I'm guessing that's the tutorial boss, since it's way too easy. Oh, hey yo. Now, with the threat of us aging, we are tasked to find 3 major boss souls and help Grandpa out. Before agreeing to help, on the way I met the Grave Tender, a character that we'll be seeing a lot of in the future. He is against his will undying, and for now there's nothing we can do to send him to the afterlife. Our first target was the Urn Witch, or otherwise known as Grandma, in the Witch's Estate. Here we meet another individual, Pothead. He'll be a sort of companion who we will be meeting from time to time. Talking to him, we find out that the Urn Witch is actually his grandma, and she was the one who turned his head into a pot, now leaving him on a quest to reverse this effect. Soup? Yes. Throughout the game, there are 5 weapons in total that need to be collected for a trophy. I got the umbrella at headquarters, and here in the Witch's Estate, I get my favorite weapon, the dual daggers. Getting to Grandma, I had to free 4 crow spirits that had failed in their missions before us. After setting them free, I opened up a door that led me back into headquarters. Here we find our first chest of avarice. These chests are trials that throw multiple enemies at you, and upon finishing the trial, we are rewarded with a new skill. There are 4 skills in total, and for now I get the fire ability. It does a bit of damage and sets enemies on fire, but its main use is outside of combat, where I can light braziers or any other flammable objects to open up secrets or pathways. Back at the estate, with our newfound ability, we are able to proceed further inside the manor, where we find out that Grandma had captured Pothead, leaving it up to us to rescue him. Reaching Grandma, she had a few choice words to say to us. And here, the only trophy tied to her is to shoot the flame spell into her paw whenever she does her spinning attack. And after doing so, I finally get the first trophy of the game. After beating up an elderly lady, we set Pothead free and gain the soul of the Urn Witch. Together with Pothead and the Grave Tender, we hold a sermon for Grandma, and unfortunately, Pothead will have to stay the way he is. Before setting out to continue forward, I had an encounter with a strange figure known as the Lord of Doors. He is the game's antagonist and someone that we'll encounter again in the future. But for now, the second boss awaits. Spread across the game, there are two types of shrines. One that gives you a magic capacity upgrade, and the other a health upgrade. You need to pray to 4 shrines to get 1 bar of a specific upgrade, and there are 16 shrines in total. Getting them all will unlock a trophy. Our next stop was the Overgrown Ruins, and to get to the next boss, we had to help a tribe by retrieving their musical horn, and alongside that, we meet a bard who will accompany us on a journey to complete his magnum opus, using us as inspiration and later on giving us a trophy. Retrieving the horn and getting inside the ruins, we follow the same formula as the one in the witch's estate, where we free 4 crow spirits to unlock a door back to headquarters, and face another chest of avarice, this time unlocking the bomb ability. Generally a pretty solid damaging skill, but similar to the fire ability, its main use is in the overworld. With it, we can break different obstacles that previously blocked the way. With this new ability, we free an imprisoned grunt, who thanked us for saving him, and we'll be meeting him again very soon for a trophy. We also found Mjolnir in the ruins, leaving one last weapon to be collected. And before continuing on, we max out our strength at headquarters and get a trophy. The remaining trip to the next boss wasn't anything special, so I cut straight to the encounter. Here we fight King of the Swamp, Guardian of the Flooded Fortress, Lord of his domain, ruler of all that he serves, Champion of the people, Keeper of the Five Oaths, first of his name, second of his name, he without middle initial or mercy, Destroyer of all those who would question his rightful rule or look at him askance, Eater of the vanquished, Devourer of the indolent, Guzzler of the non-committal. Similar to Grandma, the only trophy tied to this boss is to do a specific action, where we had to launch the bomb ability into his mouth whenever he did his consumption attack. After dethroning the king, we hold another sermon for the frog and obtain his soul. Now only one boss remains. At this point in our journey, we can begin to upgrade our spells in the form of taking down enemies called the Silent Servants. There are 4 in total, and each represent one of the abilities. Each upgrade will earn us the related trophy. Whilst trying to reach the last boss, we make a stop at the Stranded Sailor, a sort of gathering hub, to see a few familiar faces and obtain 2 trophies. First, we talk to the grunt that we freed, making him our follower. And the second trophy was for accepting Jefferson's soup. As you probably know by now, we follow the same principle of freeing 4 crows to unlock an ability that would let us continue onwards. But here we get an added bonus of being able to communicate with the previous lords, getting some insight on the lore and info on the game's antagonist. The last ability that we gained was the hookshot. In my opinion, quite useless in combat, but again, its main feature being in the overworld, letting us travel over gaps to reach previously inaccessible areas. Now with the new ability, we reach 4 braziers that we set ablaze to unlock the way to the next boss. But before moving forward, at headquarters, we get one of those little flower guys to follow us and bring him through the security gate at the beginning for a trophy. Next, we took on another Silent Servant to upgrade our fire spell and get another trophy. After that, we found Pothead's secret garden, with the help of a collectible hidden in the witch's estate that reveals the secret to a puzzle leading to his garden, and giving us a trophy. Talking to him, we find out that he was the one who placed all the healing pots around the map, in hopes of someone planting flowers in all of them. After that, we get the remaining 2 silent servants for the upgrades and trophies. By breaking 4 secret walls at the Stranded Sailor and turning on the mechanisms inside, we were able to unlock the gate that kept the final weapon out of our reach, and finally acquired the last one for the trophy. As part of the story, we reach the camp of the Free Crows, a group that wants to go against the Lord of Doors. They have been waiting for the foretold Crow of Prophecy, aka us, that will sever the ties of immortality, restoring the natural order of life. For now, they welcome us inside their sanctuary, and will be making their contribution down the line. Making our way up to the top of the mountain, and me cutting out the trip since nothing special really happened, we can finally face off against the 3rd boss. Betty was honestly difficult compared to the other bosses, and the one I struggled with the most. Her constant barrage of attacks barely let me breathe, or get a solid combo in. But eventually, with enough perseverance, we managed to take her down, giving us her boss soul. There was no trophy tied to her, but nonetheless, we hold yet another sermon, together with the Bard and Grave Tender. With all that out of the way, we can now make our way back to Grandpa, and finally see what's behind Death's door. I decided to do a bit of cleanup before proceeding, so at headquarters we purchase our 12th skill point and get a trophy for it. Back at the Stranded Sailor, we hear the completed magnum opus from the Bard that he made by accompanying us on our journey. I'm no musical expert, but that was pretty good. After that, I prayed to the last shrine and upgraded my health and magic to the max. And lastly, we had 10 flower guys following us for one more trophy. Now it was time to open Death's door, and inside we meet Death in the flesh, who tells us the story of how he got tricked and imprisoned by the Lord of Doors to gain immortality, as well as informing us that any soul that enters the door will no longer exist, leading Grandpa to become enraged, knowing that his life's goal was for nothing, and starts a fight with us. This, in my opinion, is one of the coolest boss designs in gaming.
Oh, you mother...
By defeating Grandpa, we set Death free and have him join our side. He tells us that in order to restore the natural cycle of life and get Death's power back, we need to target the Lord of Doors. With the guidance of the Free Crows, we set out to take down the Lord of Doors and sever immortality. So we take him on in a pretty intense fight, where we get sent through different doors that we previously visited, fighting each of his different phases, and finally reaching the end, where he combines all of his attacks into one phase. With the Lord taken care of, and giving Death his powers back, we restore the natural order of things, and beat the game, giving us a trophy. Now this wasn't the end, and we had some other things to do. The Lord of Doors, after his defeat, left a key to the bell tower that lets us turn day into night, opening up new opportunities and tasks that would let us see the true ending of the game. So now it was time for cleanup. We found the last of the 25 shiny items needed for a trophy. Talked to 3 mysterious owls that had left pieces of an ancient tablet of knowledge. Visited Pothead, who told us where to find the last healing pot. Throughout the game, we've been trying to plant as many seeds as possible. There are 50 pots in total, and planting them all gives us a trophy, and allows us to receive another tablet. Going back to Jefferson, we take him out of his tank for a stroll and a trophy. With him leading us to the next tablet. Next, we lead roaming ghosts to their statues to open up a door for a tablet. Then light up braziers atop of the mountain to open up yet another door with a tablet inside. Reach the sunken chest of avarice for another tablet. And, in a cool twist to the story, had to face the grave tender himself, finally letting him go into the afterlife, and receiving the final tablet of knowledge. With all the tablets collected, we headed back to the camp of the Free Crows and witnessed the true ending of the game. A pretty cool hint at their older game, Titan Souls, and in my opinion a nice ending to the game. After that, we received the trophy for the true ending and one for 100% completion. All that's left was to do an umbrella only run, beating the game once more and finally getting the platinum. This was a cool little adventure, and the game is definitely well made. I suggest that others give it a go. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you're interested in more, be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to stay tuned for further videos. See ya.